I made a fake account to stalk my ex-husband. I never expected him to start flirting with me. My divorce had been final for almost 8 months, but I'd be lying if I said I never looked at my ex-husband's social media. Every now and then I'd wonder how he was doing, whether he'd changed, or if he was already seeing someone else. One night curiosity got the better of me. I made a fake account using photos of a random influencer I'd found online. I gave the account a believable name, posted a few pictures, followed some local businesses, and made it look like a normal profile. The plan was simple. I'd look at his page without him knowing. That lasted about 2 days. Out of nowhere, he followed the account. I stared at my phone wondering if he'd somehow figured out it was me. Then he liked one photo. A few minutes later, he liked another. The next morning, he'd left a comment saying I had the nicest smile he'd seen in a long time. I couldn't believe it. I hadn't spoken to this man since the divorce papers were signed, and now he was flirting with a complete stranger online. A couple of days later, he sent the first message. It started with the usual small talk, asking where I lived, what I did for work, and how my week had been. I kept the conversation going because I wanted to see how far he'd take it. Within a week, he was sending good morning texts every day. He started calling me beautiful. Then one evening, I asked him a simple question. So, have you ever been married? He replied almost immediately. Yeah, once. I smiled. Then I asked what happened. His answer made me laugh so hard I nearly dropped my phone. According to him, his ex-wife had been lazy, controlling, jealous, and impossible to live with. He was talking about me. Almost none of it was true. I decided not to say anything. Instead, I kept asking questions. Every day, his story got more dramatic. He claimed I'd spent all his money, even though we had separate bank accounts. He said I'd refused to work, despite the fact I'd worked full-time through our entire marriage. Then he told me I'd cheated on him with a coworker. That one actually made me laugh out loud because I'd never even spoken to the coworker he mentioned outside of meetings. He wasn't just changing the story. He was inventing a completely different marriage. A week later, he told me he thought we had a real connection and asked if we could finally meet for dinner. I said yes. He picked the restaurant. He picked the time. When he walked in, he was smiling. Until he saw me sitting at the table. I've never seen someone's face lose color that fast. He stood there frozen while I slowly slid my phone across the table. The screen showed every message he'd sent me over the previous 2 weeks. I asked him one question. So, which version of your ex-wife is the real one? He didn't answer. He looked around the restaurant, mumbled that he'd made a mistake, turned around, and walked straight back out the front door. About an hour later, every message he'd sent the fake account had disappeared. Then he blocked it. A few minutes after that, he blocked my real account too. I never heard from him again. To this day, I still wonder what embarrassed him more. Getting caught flirting with a stranger. Or realizing he'd spent 2 weeks lying about his own ex-wife. To his actual ex-wife. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more story time.